Okay, welcome to the 4 people here that are going to be watching Amateur Hour. Are you 4 doing very well?
Yes.
Good to hear it. We get really into it. You guys want to do an interview and I talk to each one of you individually so it's a little less awkward?
It sounds like it'll be more awkward, fam.
Who knows? Okay, well then, we do have some very talented people up for you tonight. Clearly, apparently not as talented, or at least not as marketable as Fox and Pepper. So
It's
we'll
hard
work
to argue with horsecock.
I get it, man. I get it. We are all here specifically a little bit because of horsecock. In general, I understand. Okay. Well, the first performer up writes a lot of porn, and he does a wonderful job with it. And for a very long time, I didn't know what he looked like because I only ever knew him by suit. Please welcome Seraphin. I know it's weird. Just clap. It's a little weird. I get it. Here you go, Seraphin. Here's the mic.
Thank you. All right, how are you 4 doing? We're going to make this as awkward as possible for you 4. I might have to sit right down next to you, who knows? So I found out recently, it's a room party. I found out recently that they're making a Matrix 4 and a John Wick 4. And it's going to be released around the same time. I'm pretty sure, I'm like 80% sure, it's just going to be the same movie. I'm pretty sure that it's just going to be Keanu Reeves, he's going to say a few things, he's going to kill a whole bunch of people, and then they're going to call it a day. But for John Wick 4, I tried on Twitter because I had like the best idea for John Wick 4, because if you ever watched John Wick, which I've watched all 3 multiple times, I love violence, I saw that he, like, the biggest thing he has, like, because he can't have, like, body armor, they want it to be, like, a video game as much as possible, but, like, real life. So, what they did was it just made his suit, like, bulletproof. So, like, he's, like, holding up his jacket, he's deflecting, like, small arms fire, which would never happen in real life, but I can suspend my disbelief. As I got out of John Wick 3, I thought, hey, you know what would be, like, invincible in this world? A fursuit in that material.
Oh, no.
Just think about it. You can have, like, a guy who's just a tank because they're completely covered. Like, you could just have him, like, run out of rocket and just be like, boom! No more rocket. He's fine. A little fur singe. And then he complains about how expensive his suit is because that's real life, too. And in order to keep it realistic as well, though, and to give him a weakness, there would have to be one point where, like, John Wick's, like, running up a set of stairs. And the first is like, yeah, I'll meet you at the elevator, John Wick. Like, you kill, like, a lot of people, I'll kill whatever's left. Like, once the elevator gets here, I'm going to take the elevator. Or, like, they have to, like, run across the street and just the first is just like, wake up, John Wick! Oh, I'm so sweaty! Oh, my thighs are chafing. What the cost of bulletproof? Alright. I was more concerned, like, I love the fact that John Wick 4 is coming out. I am baffled at the fact that The Matrix 4 is coming out. Because who the fuck are still giving the Wachowskis money? I don't get it! People are, like, literally trying their whole lives to get to Hollywood. They've made 3 bad movies, then they stole 1, and people are just like, yeah, they're legit, let's give them a couple $100 million. Like, we don't even talk about The Matrix 3 because it's so bad. The Matrix 2 is okay at best, and The Matrix 1 is their only good movie because they stole it. And not even the whole thing, either. You know that really dumb explanation where, like, people are batteries. That's why humans, like, are being used in these machines. And everyone's like, that's fucking stupid. Well, the original one was that we were all processors. And when I heard that, I'm like, that makes way more sense. Why did they change it? Well, the Wachowskis thought, hey, we need to make this less look like we stole this shit. Why don't we just change a few things? So the worst parts of the Matrix are what they touched. And they still got 4 more movies out of it. I can forgive The Matrix 2. You didn't know any better at that point. Matrix 3, then you should have learned your lesson. But I can also see, like, some movie producer being like, hey, maybe they're just tapped out of that kind of sci-fi. let's give them a different kind of sci-fi. Surely they'll do better. And then they shout out Jupiter Ascending. If you haven't seen Jupiter Ascending, good. It's on Netflix, if you're curious. It's a great concept. So, Mila Kunis, who looks like she's bored all the fucking time, plays a house lady who is like reincarnated as, or like she's a reincarnation because genetics and stuff. And then it gets weird. They're like, it's so bad. Sean Bean is in the movie and he doesn't die. That's how bad they fucked up this movie. Sean Bean always dies. It's in his contract at this point. But I'm super stoked for those two movies to come out. I'm going to segue a little bit here. Who here likes to drink? Woo! Yeah, drinking. Drinking is fun. I enjoy a good drink every once in a while. I'm going to tell you about the time where drinking wasn't so fun for me for a little while. Set the scene for you a little bit. It's New Year's. So, obviously. It's in Wisconsin, so again, obviously. I was invited to a party at a friend's house, and they had a liqueur that I had not seen before. It's called Kraken Rum.
Oh no.
Now, Kraken has become my favorite rum of all time, but I was inexperienced with the Kraken. I hadn't faced the tentacles before. In fact, this was before a lot of tentacles came into my life. So, I poured it, and I enjoyed it. So I kept drinking it. Now, the thing about being me and being Wisconsin is that I kind of just eyeball all my liquor. I don't really measure. That's for wimps. I just pour it until it tastes good. Now, for most rums, that's pretty fine. For Kraken, it's sneaky. Kraken is a very sneaky rum. If you ever drink Kraken rum, you have to remember that's a very sneaky rum. It doesn't take as much like alcohol like other rums. I did not know that. However, about maybe 2.5 hours into this party, I start feeling a little strange. Now, if you drink a lot, or from Wisconsin, then you have a pretty good set of where your drunk milestones are. Now, drunk milestones are the places where you know you should drink more, steady drinking, and then drink less. And I was about 2 hours in, and the steady was just rushing right at me. I'm like, you came way sooner than expected. And I look at the bottle of Kraken rum, and I look at everyone else, and I do that math that drunk people do when they realize they drink too much. And it was not helped by the fact that apparently no one else liked rum. So I was drinking that all by myself. And I'm just staring at the gullet of a half-drank bottle of rum and going, oh no. So about 20 minutes later, Milestone 1 has just rushed right on by, and we're going straight to 2. I'm like, I need air. Apparently what I said is, air now! So they let me outside because I just shouted at them. So we get outside. It was me and about 2 or 3 other people. I don't know because I'm not able to count. In fact, I'm not able to see. I latch onto something, which I later find out is a tree. Trees are grounded, and I was not. So it was basically me hugging a tree for 40 minutes in Wisconsin during New Year's. Thank God it was not cold, or else I'd probably have been on the news and not in the good way. So 40 minutes passed. Apparently I was also still making noise. At this point, I'm lucky to still even be on this plane of existence. And then the police show up. Again, I was told this. I'm still hugging the tree, or at least I was, until I somehow let go, and now I'm on the ground. I don't know why the police were called. Was it the noise? Was it the dude just sprawled out on the ground? Who knows? All I know is I'm still like 3/4 conscious at this point. So I'm looking. So I see a light. And I think, oh God, I've done it. This is my death. My friends are idiots. They'll never get me to the hospital in time. But the light turned out to be the flashlight of a Green Bay police officer. He wanted to make sure that he wasn't the one to bring me to the hospital. And seeing the light, I did a reaction that most normal people would probably do in that situation. I just straight up growled at him. My friends also have told me that I did try to bite, but it was kind of like watching a fish that you have just caught on the dock, which is a whole lot of... So think like a zombie movie, except really bad zombies. Think like first 5 minutes zombies, not like end of movie zombies. Luckily, my friends were there, and they were not drinking the Kraken rum, so they were able to explain to the police officer what had happened. And to the credit of the Green Bay police force, the response given to them for me for growling at him was, well, I guess he just had a really good time. Which is true until I threw up 30 minutes later on my own front steps. But that's another story. Speaking of another story, here's another time where I've gotten way too drunk. This was one of the first times that I've ever drank. And I have my mate to thank for this story, who was just dating at this point, who didn't believe that I was drunk. Remember milestone 1? I had it in the previous story. My milestone 1 is drink more, which is basically I appear normal for all intents and purposes, even though I'm still getting drunk. So my mate, who is the sweetest person in the world, did not believe me when I said, hey, I'm getting pretty drunk. Maybe I should slow down. And I go, okay. And then proceeded to give me drinks, which was this much vodka and about this much soda. They increased the amount of alcohol because, nah, he ain't drunk. Well, I proved her wrong. About 30 minutes later, I'm on the bathroom floor, and I have no idea how I got there, but it's all right, because the bathroom floor is really cold, and I really needed something to warm my face. But the real kicker of this entire story is when they tried to get me home, because by that point, now she believes me. I am too drunk. So it's like, we should so they get me up on my feet, and they go, hey, we should probably get him home. And my dumb college brain thought, nah, I'm gonna fly home, and proceed to tip forward and fall on my face, and then puke. So that's the 2 times where I got way too drunk. And that's why I always say, know your milestones. And for the love of God, if your mate doesn't believe you, stop letting them give you alcohol. So one of the things that I like to do with my mate was go to the casino. I always enjoy going to the casino. We don't really do it very often, but when we do, we get to have a good time out of it. Our friends sometimes give us a little razzing on that, like, huh, you spend your money at the casino. That's a waste of money, as they buy their carton of cigarettes. I'm like, joke's on you. I'm going to live long enough to regret my life choices. You bitch. Anyway, but I like going to the casino, even if we don't spend a whole lot of money. It's bright, there's lots of colored lights, it perfectly suits my ADHD. And one of the things, I like the slot machines because they're like video games that you sometimes get money from. But one of the things I've always wanted to try, one of the things I've always wanted to do was Baccarat. Because I'm a huge James Bond fan. I love James Bond. And when I see him play Baccarat, I'm like, man, I wish I knew how that game worked. So I looked up Baccarat on Wikipedia and a couple other sites, and after that, I still didn't know how to play Baccarat. It is, like, I don't know if I'm just stupid or, like, it's that complicated, but it's like, if you get 4, you win, unless they get the ace, in which case they'll punch you in the balls. So, like, what the hell? What? I'm going, like, I could just imagine myself going up to a baccarat table and be like, here's my money. And then I get my cards, I go, hit me. And they go, sir, that's not how baccarat works. I'm like, then king me, bitch. I don't know, just give me more points or something. Or tell me if I won. I don't care. That's when I realized James Bond kind of had it easy when he did baccarat. He wasn't playing with his own money. He was playing with the Queen's money. I've never seen a James Bond movie where he's sweating because he put the rent on the line. The second thing about all that is that James Bond usually is playing with like a bunch of super criminals. So if he loses, he just has to shoot them. Problem solved. It's like, aha, I win again, Mr. Bond. Like, I don't think so. Bang. It's like, it's okay, criminal. Also, I need to cash out. I need to cash out, like, right now. One of my favorite stories at the casino is the one I call the saddest man in the world. This is a story that's very dear to me. I was going up to get our money for the night, to gamble, to donate to the Indian Memorial Fund or whatever. And there's a man in front of me, and he's your stereotypical, like, very sad, lonely man, like balding and rumpled shirt and, like, cigarette and vodka and, you know, whatever. And he's going to get his money probably. I don't know. Maybe he's been here for 18 hours. Couldn't tell. In any case, he puts in his card, and he goes, $400, you know, right there. I'm like, that's a rich man's bet. Unfortunately for him, he apparently wasn't a very rich man because it declined. But this man was not undeterred. He was going to get that money. He put in $300. Nope, not enough. $200. Wrong. $100. No dice. I'm looking at this guy who puts in like $20, gets declined, and I'm like, damn! This is the one machine you are almost guaranteed to get money out of, and you can't even win at this. Cut your losses. Go home. But no, sad man was going to gamble today, god damn it. He pulled out a second card. Put it in again, same thing. 4, 3, 2, 1, broke. Did it with a third card. By card 4, I was getting ready to call Gamblers Anonymous for him. But he managed to get out $50. I'm like, all right, I gotta see where this goes. I am as invested as he is, not in any stocks. He is obviously very, very bad with his money. So I follow him. He goes to roulette. I'm like, that's a risky move, but, you know, house odds. And he puts it on red. I'm like, I would do black, but it's your money. I'm not talking to him because that'd be weird, because I basically stalked this dude from an ATM to the roulette table. But anyway, he puts the money on red. Little ball goes around. Shh, anticipation, tension. Everything's in the air. Everything's on the line on this one little bet. And it lands on red. And at that moment, I felt happy. A happy ending for a sad man. And I was ready to turn around. And that's when I heard him go, "Let it ride."
Oh, no.
I'm like, no, you won. You, like, probably for the first time in your life, you won. You need to leave, or at least split. Go to the buffet first, and then keep gambling. But no, he let it ride. And like all types of tales, he lost. And I felt really bad for him. But it also meant that I could have a great story to tell other people, so it worked out in the end. And then I never saw him again. How am I doing for time?
You're good. Yeah, I mean, if you want to wrap it up.
All right. So that was my set. Thank you so much for listening to me come up here and ramble for like 20 minutes. For you 5 right there. I'll come sit by you later.
All right, keep it going for Seraphin. Wait, we got 2 more people. That is a 50% increase in the audience. That's impressive, guys, from that metric. Isn't that fun? What are you even doing here? You definitely look like you should be at the Late Show for Pox and Pepper.
What, me?
Yeah, dude. I don't know. The other dude with a long hair and a beanie looking like he's stoned out of his head. Look, I look the same way. I get it. All right. Let me welcome to the stage a man who I've seen a lot but has never seen me, Citrine.
I didn't trip. That was supposed to be the first funny thing.
There's also a mic in the thing. You want the mic on the stand instead?
I don't care.
Okay.
I'll probably just hold it. I like having things in my hands. I like gripping things. We'll get into that. So, I like that they have the things at the front of the stage. I like that. I get what they're trying to do, but it doesn't do worth a damn for me. So I appreciate it, but next year you can save like $5 and like somebody told me that this thing like lights up, that like my badge lights up the other day because I'm like, oh, that's so cool. This badge, like, it feels weird. It's got like the tiniest little penis on the front of it. It feels like or maybe just like, you know, like a Tic Tac sort of penis. Like one of those is just like you don't talk about. You're just like, yeah, it's a boy. That's it. That's it. We don't talk about it. I swear it's a boy. I swear to God. It kind of felt like one of those. So the badge has a gender now, and so like apparently but apparently it had like a very sexual drive for anal because it has like this big ass battery in the back that I'm just like, good God, you take a load, dude. Like Jesus. You got a small dick, but you make up for it. So it's like, I feel like this badge would have some very interesting sexual stories if it was anthropomorphic. And I mean, we're a fandom for that, so I'm just like, translate this to like a 3D, sexually aroused badge that just goes around just like flashing its dick multicolor. So it's like, it's got disco dick now, so like, I feel like this works. It's really great. Segueing from disco dick badges, I have this book in my hand. I really don't know why. I just haven't gone back up to my room because it's hard as hell to figure out my room number when I can't see the fucking thing on the door. And so I've just carried it around with me. It's my songwriting book. This thing is full of songs about a lot of dick and puss. And oh yeah, puss.
Dicks and
Dicks, and then like a little puss. Like puss is like the paprika. You don't put too much because you got to season it just right. And it's like fish, and I'm not going into that joke. But I'm going to set it down there and maybe not step on it. I don't know. Maybe I can be like a macro and it can be a micro. If my badge can be disco dick, then this book can damn sure be like a micro and I can have my way with it. Anything can be sexual if you want it to be. It's fun when you're blind because Pornhub isn't worth a damn. It's basically a soundtrack to get your parents to leave you alone and not ask you to go to church because they feel like, because you're like, I don't want to go because God is punishing me enough because I feel like shit because I drank last night because you pissed me off about something. And it's just like, it's really just your fault, so I'm just going to crank up Pornhub as a soundtrack. It's gotten me out of church more than one time. But the reason that I don't really go to church that much, I'm just kind of like, God, you can just tell me what you want to tell me. Because, like, God is the biggest dick. Like he's awesome, but he's like the biggest dick, like with the blind jokes. Because, like, the last time I went to church, like, he's like, okay, they're like, turn to your hymnal number 500. I'm like, how the hell do you have that many songs? That's more songs than, like, iTunes has right now on their playlists. And so they go through them, and of all the ones they could pick, they're like, I saw the light, blinded by the light, and he leadeth me. I'm like, God, what the hell are you doing? Did somebody not, did one of the church board members sleep with somebody? Like, what are you pissed off about? I didn't do nothing. And so then, like, I have my nephew there, and he's all cute and coloring because, screw Jesus, I got crayons. Crayola's like God now. And, teach the kid to learn how to hold dicks in his hand at a young age. You got to start them off early. And, and then they become furries. But, it works out. Crayola is like, and the coloring books, don't even get me started on the adult coloring books. Nah. I haven't seen them, but I hear that they're, but anyway, so like we're there and and the pastor starts talking and he's raising his hands, and after he gets done with his spiel about how Pokemon cards are Satan and all this shit, he's like, he's talking about like, how the world was created, and I'm like, dude, there's no fucking way you're that old. Like, you sound ancient, but you're not that old. You don't. So he's going through this about like how the world was created, Adam and Eve. My nephew immediately tells me on the way home, like I'm just kind of sitting there in the car with him. We got like a 20-minute car ride home, so it's like awkward because my parents are like getting their daily dose of Jesus, so they feel guilty because they've sinned. And so it's just quiet all the way home. It's fine. No radio, no nothing. And so we're just kind of driving all the way home, and my nephew looks over at me and he goes, "Can a brother and sister have sex?" Dude, I don't know what those crayons are doing, but so let's talk. So I'm like, well, I mean, legally, no, but I just stopped myself. I'm like, I'm not getting into this. So I basically tell him no. And he's like, well, then how did Adam and Eve have kids if they were the only two people and they were in the garden at it? And then, like, you know those moments where you have this epiphany where your brain just, like, shits itself for a minute because you can't quite figure out, like, oh my God, I figured out the secret to the universe. It's like the first time you learn to masturbate. Like, you're like, I've unlocked true happiness. Like, it's just like, oh my God, my hand is a god. Like you figure that out. Crayola penis. And, there's methods to my madness here, I swear. And so the wheels in my head turn, and immediately it hits me that people don't know where the Garden of Eden was. I do. It's somewhere in Kentucky. And so, speaking of interesting things, my songbook down there, it's got a lot of different songs, like I said, about Puss and Dick and, you know, a lot of other things. I'm not an artist. I can't draw a straight line, but that's fine because God has a sense of humor because I'm not heterosexual, so hell with it. And so the way that things work for me is that most of the songs that you'll hear on stage is like, oh, that song is so deep. Like I have this song that I like performed the other day that was like called $1 a Day. And like people think that sort of stuff is like, wow, that's a really deep song about a metaphor for money. I'm like, you didn't hear the first version that was like basically just like a cock slurp's just a cock slurp. That's what my boyfriend always said, but a cock slurp's what you make it when you got big dick in your hand. Like you know, that's like the demo lyrics, and it's like that's not gonna, you know, well, then again, horse cock. I mean, maybe I should figure this out. You know, I need to rethink my strategy and just be like, dude, like, and one of the people that was in the panel this morning, I had a songwriting 101 panel, and I was talking about this. I didn't mention cock slurp because it's 10 a.m. And because I was just like, I'm not ready. Like this dude has not even dealt like with Crayola, let alone experimented with rose art and other shit like that. Like they are not ready for the big leagues of cock slurp. They're just not ready. And so they, you know, so I'm like, okay, this is fine. It's all cute. And so they're like, hey, I've got a question. I'm like, yeah, what's up? And they're like, so, what do you think of like a furry metal band? And I'm like, well, you know, there's definitely Ren. There's like a few different options. You know, there's Zephyr. You could do that. Why? Do you have a name? And he's like, yeah, Vor Machine. And so then I'm like, really? And I'm trying to be, you know, so you know, and I'm just like, oh, that's an interesting name. He's like, yeah, I felt like it would help me express myself. Look, I've already got the thing. Look. And so then I'm like, I can't see your phone. He's like, oh, that's okay. Comes right up to me and is like, and he's got the demo, like, artwork already printed. Like, this kid is going hard ass at this. Like, the V basically looks like the Jaws of Life vagina. It's got, like, teeth on it on the V on the inside. And I'm just like, dude, what is your... He's like, oh, dude, like, I would do stage 3 actors. Like, I went to theater class and stuff like that. I'm like... You're going to create the furry's first sex show is what you're going to do. So now I'm just waiting for furry vor, you know, basically death metal musical. I want to see this shit. I'll be the first to buy tickets. I don't care. I don't care if I can't see it. I feel like I'm just going to be like in the front and I'll just be in the splash zone and just see how it goes. I mean, if it's vor, we're going to see how this goes. Like, you know, the stage is just like an oyster and it just clamps shut and it's just like that's when the show begins on you. Because, you know, you're just like, yeah, this is fun. Speaking of fun sexual kinks, so I'm nowhere near a vanilla person, but I had this interesting endeavor because this past year was my first Anthrocon, and I thought, oh, this would be a good idea to find out which one of my friends are into which kinks. So,
That's a reason.
what do? Well, I'm one of these people that gets in a Telegram chat due to an invite link. And then I basically make it to where like one of the admins is my friend, so they can basically like Jimmy rig it to where like no one sees that I really entered. And I just sit there and then I watch my friend, and so I'm doing this. And I'm doing this with Anthrocon. I'm like in 10 chats. I invest time into this. I'm shutting my phone the hell up all the time during work so that I don't have it just all of a sudden voice texting vor scat party thing. Start doing that shit because I'm just like, I ain't into that. Like, I don't want to, I ain't shaming, but it's like, I don't want like my boss to be like, so, it's our quarterly meeting. I got something to talk to you about your latest project. So what's with that there? Because I heard your phone. Your phone basically was a bitch and told on you. So I'm like, okay. So I join like 10 chats, and I make a list. All right. I take the time to figure out what rooms there are, what times they are. So on Saturday night, I basically just go on a dick sniffing spree. Like I am basically just like, my dick is just rock hard going room to room, bang, 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 and I'm just like banging on the door with my dick, like, I'm here, because I'm just like, I just want to go in there and just be like I don't have to be able to see when I go into a room and somebody is using an air pump and shit to get their inflation off, and everybody in there sounds like Michael Jackson because of fucking helium. Like I don't need to be able to see to know that their jaw is literally 2 floors below us. Like I don't need to know to visualize this. And so what I did is I started off, and it's not bad. I started off at the inflation one. I'm like, okay, there's the fursuiter that they told to get out of the lobby at Anthrocon, and there's, and I'm getting this, and it's like fine. I mean, the room was basically bouncing because you had the person in the suit that's just bouncing them down. I don't know their name, but we all know what shit I'm talking about. It's just like, okay, it's kind of cute. It's like a big balloon, and then you got like other people, and then I go to some of them that were just kind of, in all honesty, they were just kind of vanilla. Like the sub-dom one is just like, it's fine. It's like, and then, you go to the baby fur one, and then you go to like the you go to all these different ones. But I got to tell you something. The people that earn my respect are the people in Tavor, because I swear to God, you people are dedicated as hell. You cannot go out and buy a Vor machine. You can buy clamp-ons for your nipples, but you cannot buy a machine that will literally make you feel like you are just being devoured alive by Godzilla, all right? You cannot. So this kink is a little more difficult because you can't just get this on FurBuy or on Etsy. You can't do that. So I'm intrigued about this one. So I come in there. Now, a dear friend of mine, I'm not going to mention his name, but if he sees this, if it's even being recorded, well, fuck you, I didn't mention your name, so you can't sue me for anything. I've talked to Boozy about this. So, basically what went on, you got this really dynamic setup, and he's got good friends, all right? Because he's clearly into Vor. He doesn't see me because he doesn't make any comment. And my friend, one of my other friends knew this, so he's like, okay, we're just going to keep you over here in the corner. Meanwhile, he's distracted because he's getting his dick like blue as hard as like Joe and Bill and Twister right now. Like he's just getting like that sucker just circle jerked, okay? And then you've got like, then he's got 2 friends, because his mate's blowing him, and then you've got like 2 friends of his that have towels that they've obviously soaked in the tub. Like there's dedication to this, and they're just like squeezing it on his legs, so he basically looks like a half-fucked mummy. And then like his arms, like you've got like 2 other people, and I pray to God he's being showered, but I don't know, maybe army lickies or like something that like, they're like, some people like, so he's got like 2 other people that are like licking on his arms. I'm like, okay. And then the piece de resistance is he's literally got somebody that's got the nom jaw. This thing is literally like the evil vagina that will eat the dick. It's like, it just like opens up like a snake. It's like, like Python. So this thing's just like open wide, and it's just like, it's just kind of going like, nom. And they're doing that. And then just about the time that he screeches like a freaking, screeches like a fucking moose, or whatever. Then you got like, I just realized he just sounded like Chewbacca for some shit or something. He just kind of sounds like Chewbacca on like, I don't know, like having laryngitis or some shit like right in the middle. But like he basically, when he orgasms, the person's like wham, and just like shoves the head down on him. And then I just scream, that was fucking hot. The head goes flying, and he goes, Citrine? And I said, yeah. And he goes, oh God. I didn't know you knew I was into that. And I said, well, now that you said your fucking name, dumbass, now I know you're into it. Yeah, bye. Just walked out the door. I can tell you, being at Anthrocon was a fun experience for me. And I've still got about 4 minutes. I love this. I don't know. Does it look like I'm basically trying to like nose fuck my phone? Like that's what it's like. It's like I'm just booping my snoot against the fucking thing because that's just my kink. I like boop snooting phones. That's what us blind people are into. Because I could actually draw something of that, and one of you people would get off to it. Like somebody in the fandom would be like, that. Like I'd get comments like, "Oh, that's cute. That's cute." I'm hard. Like you're not going to go onto any forum. And that's why people are like, why don't you look up this artist and this artist? I'm like, because the fucking thing is like Siri. It won't shut the hell up. It's like, you know, so-and-so. To give you an example, Boozy tells people this, and I don't know if people believe him, but I swear to God it's true. And I can show you proof of this later if you want it. There is a way to caption pictures. When you send them through Twitter, there's a way to caption it, put a little caption into the picture.
I want to know how.
And... well, there's a certain app that you can lace along. It's like a speak text app that I have that will analyze it. And Boozy has figured out how to use. But if you don't have the app, then like, so do you guys? You can tweet something out, and you guys are just going to see like the picture or whatever. And it's like, good, great, that's pretty. But my phone, and only if you have the speak text app, can read the encrypted message in the fucking thing. And what you guys see is a picture of his cute little 3-legged dog, and he's like, you know, Mrs. Hobbles is just jumping around, you know. What he sent, and I'll, you know, I've done this before. I was on my way to ACE, and I was in the middle of the airport. I'm just walking through the airport, you know, and just minding my own business. And so I've got the thing on loud because people are allowed in the fucking airport. And so what ends up happening is the thing says, 2 new messages from Boozy Badger. I'm like, okay, so then I hit the first one, and it's the tweet. And it says, here is a picture of a bull getting rammed hard by a cheetah. Look at that fucking cum. I got to the convention, and I told him, I want to buy you a drink and kick your fucking ass if it was legal, dude. And he said, well, I would, but I'll just, okay, you can kick my ass, but we're playing Marco Polo simultaneously. And yes, we become really good friends because we are dicks to each other. That's part of the game. And that's part of what makes it fun. Guys, it's always fun coming up here. And I'm just thankful that I literally didn't fall on my ass. And I'm thankful that I didn't macro my book. Because, you know, I don't want to macro something that has to do with puss and dick. I want to actually be able to have the situation and the time to decide. So, guys, I always support Crayola because we're furries and we like dicks.
All right, keep it going for Citrine. Holy shit, 2 more people. That is a 100% increase of audience since this panel started. Amazing, guys. We are in the fucking green. This is awesome. Give yourselves a round of applause. Everyone's getting a bonus. It's great.
We heard you got roses, so we had to come.
Okay. Oh, fair. Alrighty. Let's welcome our next performer, Chris, the Comedy Bunny. That's me. Hang on.
Get on stage!
Yeah, woo, it's me, holy shit! What about that host, right? Yeah. Fucking dick. That's how you know you're a comedian, you just hate yourself. That's how you know you're a human, you just hate yourself. I think that's how it works, right? Guys, time sucks, right? Time is terrible. It's such a bummer. A friend that I grew up with, someone that I'd known since I was a child, recently got married and had a kid. And it has been weird. This kid, you don't understand how big a milestone it is for Logan. This kid, we all assumed he was going to go to the way of the turkey, you know, like mouth open, staring up at the sky, mouth agape in a rainstorm, just full fucking dead. This kid is a goomer. No joke. I once gave him a chocolate sundae flavored Pop-Tart. This dude looked me in all earnest, dead in the eyes, and says, I don't think I can do it, dude. It's Friday. It's the flavor of the ice cream, not the day, you fuck. What the hell? Like, it is insane. This kid, just next level. My favorite moment with this kid, I promise you, my favorite moment with this kid, holy shit. we were all hanging out, eating cereal or some dumb kid shit right at a table. You know how it works. You've been there. So we're fucking eating at this fucking table, and Logan's mom comes rolling up with a pair of Levi girls' jeans, and she goes, "What's going on here, guys?" And side note, this family is the most fundamental Christian, down the road, white bed, white picket fence, let's pretend it's the 50s, but it's really 2002, fucking family. They had 2 sons, no daughters. So there's no reason girl jeans should be in their laundry. And so I, realizing the situation, shut the hell up. Everyone else in the room shuts the hell up. Logan, thinking, what a bunch of idiots, chimes in, albeit with the right answer, pants! That's right, Logan. Nailed it. And Logan's mom looks at him and goes, "Yeah, I know. Whose are they?" Logan goes, "Oh," now understanding, catching up with the rest of the class, and wanting to be a good brother, because the key is, these pants belonged to the 14-year-old emo kid who didn't have the option to buy skinny jeans yet because Hot Topic wasn't selling them. So Logan, wanting to be a good brother, is going to protect he's going to protect his older brother, man. It's points. So he's like, well, I bet they're the neighbor ladies because she does laundry over here sometimes. Yeah, so they're probably hers. Yeah. All right, pretty okay lie, I guess. But you need to understand, the neighbor lady is twice the age of I'm fucking up. The neighbor lady is like 4 times the age of this kid and twice as large as this kid. Real Midwest bod, you know what I mean? And so she looks at him then looks off into the distance, realizing that she has raised a cross-dressing blasphemer and a complete moron. I guess so, and begins to walk off. She doesn't get 2 steps away, not 2 steps away, before Logan, in the loudest whisper I have ever heard in my life, "Gee, I sure nailed that. John really owes me, huh?" He was so proud, guys. Like, he was so proud. It had to have been his proudest moment. You know how I know it was his proudest moment? You know, I mentioned he had a kid and got married. You know what that kid's name is? Levi. Seriously, guys. Time's fucking weird. It is already 2020. Like, that's so weird, right? Like, I mean, although it's not too bad, because my cutoff date for the future is 2021. Because how fucking futury does that sound? That shit still sounds like 100 years off. The year is 2021. It just sounds way better. Like 2020, whatever. 2021? Fuck yeah, flying cars and weird shit, right? Yeah, I got 1 person to howl out of like 10. That's a 10th of the audience is with me. They get it. It's all about percentage and perspective.
Eugenics, we're in Star Trek.
All right, guys, though, seriously, time is nuts. Like, okay, no one was the advent of free information has somehow made truth more relative. That is insane. No one expected that to happen. No one was like, check out this funny porn gif. And then everyone was like, by the way, we can rig an election, and it's just like gone. And it's like, holy shit. No one thought that was going to happen. But it's super weird, because I got to look at my notes, because I didn't have time to practice this set in particular. Luckily, it's a small audience. I still love you, though.
We love you too.
Oh, thank you. That's so wonderful. That's 20%. 20% of the audience just said they love me. It's really good.
We love you also.
Oh my god, that's like 30% of the audience. A third of the audience, guys. This is oh my god, holy, the chairs do? Oh my god, we're winning out. Is that like the popular vote?
Several thousand % there for you.
Right? It's doing good. Anyways, yeah, where was I? Oh yeah, that's right. Fucking capitalism, right? So, freedom of information has caused reality to morph to fit whatever the fuck we want. But the capitalistic interest groups have somehow twisted that into turning the dinosaur that would kick in the front fucking door and blow a cheesy load all over my bowl of nudes into my best friend because Kraft Macaroni retweeted me one time. And that's fucked up. But it's not all bad, man. Technology has made my ability to fuck with cops so much easier. Seriously. Okay, for like the 10 people here, let's get intimate. If you want to know one thing about me, I have a problem with authority gifted to and from people that I barely know that are also supposed to be civil servants. It's fucking weird and it bums me out. Right? Weird, right? Anyways, I sound like a cult leader. There's like 4 people in a room and I'm like, fuck capitalism, let's burn the government. I get it, it's cool. So, thought I heard Dragger's howl. When Dragger laughs, he does a whoa, whoa, and you know you got him on the second hit. You're like, whoa, whoa! You got him over the hill, it's fun.
First one's polite, the second it's genuine.
Right? That's exactly it. You nailed it. First one's polite, second one's genuine. Thank you. Oh my god. But seriously, my ability to fuck with cops has like skyrocketed, right? Okay, so setup here. I hadn't paid my bill, I hadn't paid my tags, it was my birthday, and a cop pulls me over. We're there, got the setup done. I promised myself no tangents, but in the immortal words of my father, looks like you failed again, right? Fucking nailed that. So, I'm like, oh shit, I really don't want to have to pay for that. And then I remembered, you can pay your tags online. And I was like, no way, I want to try this. So I take out my phone, and I go to the website, and then I look up the and then I log in, then I put in my credit card information, and then I finish paying for my tags, and it worked. And the guy knocks on the door, and I'm like, holy shit. So I roll the window down, and he's all like, afternoon, son. And I'm like, you are not old enough to be my father, and my father's dead. So unless you're a ghost, or you biffed my mom on prom night, that's a Back to the Future reference for the whole audience, because I have written in there like 3 people. I will show you the due respect that you deserve in this situation if you do me the same. And because I'm white, he didn't shoot me. And he's like, fair enough. Do you know why I pulled you over? Not at all, I say, lying through my teeth. Why is that? And he's like, well, seems you haven't paid for your tags. And I'm like, that doesn't sound right. I know it's my birthday today, but I'm positive I paid him earlier today, not lying through my teeth, because I did 5 minutes earlier. And he's all like, now, son, and I look at him, we just talked about this. And he's like, sir. And I'm like, actually, it's ma'am. And he's like, and I'm like, I know, it's a crazy new world. Let's keep moving. So he's like, oh, look, you need to just accept the fact that you didn't. And I'm like, look, I know I paid for him. Please, can you go check again? And hey, if I'm wrong, you can give me you can give me the ticket. You can get your ego stroke. You can get your quota, and you can go back and say, I really gave it to one of those alphabet people. And everyone in the blue will be like, nailed it, yeah, you get it, guy. We touch dicks, whatever they do. I don't know what they do. So, anyways. I was raised by a hippie and a biker. I really don't have a good respect for cops. So, he's like, all right, fair. And he goes back, and I pee myself, because holy shit, this is working. Like, oh man. Like, I really thought he was going to shoot me at one point because he had his hand on his gun. Why the fuck do cops do that? Like, it doesn't matter the situation. They're like, hang on. Like, I was once buying weed from my weed dealer, and this dude comes up to me, starts rolling up to the fucking front lawn, and he's all like, what are you boys doing? And my weed dealer looks at him and says, nothing, Johnny Law. Massa says I'm free, and then hides behind me because a white friend is the best fucking bullet shield. So anyways, this guy comes back and he's like, Well, there seems to have been a mistake. Holy shit. You're free to go, and hands me the information back. And I was like, and he's like, sorry about the mishap. And I'm like, oh, look, dude, I get it. It's fine. We all make mistakes. The important thing is that we learn from them, son. And then I fucking take off. Hey, Boozy.
Great job, champ.
Yeah, oh, thanks, Dad. Whoa, you brought 4 more people. Guys, that is a 200% increase in this audience total. We are fucking in a Fortune 500%. Yeah. Percent.
I had the right panel.
Yeah, you are. The one that's really empty.
Unfortunately, FurSquared is on the other room, so.
It happens. But you are late.
This is the book panel, right?
Yeah, this is the book panel. You got it.
I'm not late. I'm like on time. It started at midnight.
Oh, is the book panel also in here?
Yeah.
Oh, fun. That's the next thing that's up, and I'm also in that. So, I'll wrap my setup because it's weird now. Bye. I'm Chris the Comedy Bunny. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for being here. It really does mean a lot because you were one of 10.
I didn't even know you had a panel. You didn't say anything.
You were on your 15th wedding anniversary. I was going to let you have some time with your wife. Instead of like, hey, surrogate dad, can you please come to my comedy set? I really need the...
You know I'd support you if you let me stuff.
No, I'm not letting you in. You guys need to understand, I was disgusted by Dick for a really long time. I was like, wow, I hate Dick. And then I was like, oh no, I just hate my dad. That was a real thing I had while watching 2 dudes fuck. I was like, oh.
Freud would have loved you.
That's right, I just have daddy issues. That makes way more sense. It really helps. But yeah, no, are you guys just going to hang out for the book panel?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's weird. This is super weird. I'm walking off stage now.
Tell us about the book panel.
I don't know. What is the book panel?
It's not my panel. I'm just on it.
That's true. I'm back, guys. Hi.
Hi.
Do we need a table for the book
I'm
panel?
assuming we
Yes, probably.
Oh, there are like 40 tables. Which one do you want? Here, you take it. Your fucking panel.
Hello, are you all here for the Bring Your Own Book After Dark panel?
We are
Half
now.
of you are probably panelists. All right, we're just going to move a couple of tables to the stage and we'll get started here in a moment.
Also, while they're setting up, also I ended that so shittily. Guys, please give it up for all of the performers that came on stage tonight. Citrine, Seraphin, myself. It has been amateur. They have done a wonderful job. I hope you guys really did enjoy it. Good. Wonderful. You all love each other now. Be cool.
Mind if I hand them to you and then give some mine?
That works. You guys aren't cops, right? You have to tell me if you're a cop.
That's not how it works.
That's how it works. I learned that. You have to. It's how it comes.
Silver Gattoman, he bought me a coffee. Silver Gattoman, here is the song for thee. He likes to video all the panels at the cons. You should go and watch them whether they are short or long. Silver Gattoman, you video that's not a jibe. All of you go to his YouTube channel and like and subscribe.